Our story begins at the luxurious Haitian hotel, where Lee Soo-yoon gazes out at the relentless, melancholy rain. Suddenly, a smooth voice breaks the silence, asking if she enjoys the rain and claiming a shared poetic sentiment. He suggests a romantic stroll, mentioning her mother's high expectations and the elite matchmaking circle they both belong to. Then, with a lingering gaze, he addresses her as Miss Lee, questioning her thoughts on the sanctity of marriage. He notes 27 is the golden age for a bride, before dropping a heavy bomb. He is into her. Meet our protagonist, Lee Soo-yoon. Her lineage is legendary, carrying a heavy weight most could never hope to endure. Her grandfather was a former prime minister, a titan who once stood at the very peak of political power. Now, her father, Da Mong-yoon, is carving a path toward the presidency, fueled by ambition and family pride. Perhaps it is this suffocating prestige that makes Lee Soo so intense a woman whose cold aura leaves everyone exhausted. Dark rumors whisper she is a secret daughter of scandal. She only attended this meeting to appease her family. The man continues his hollow chatter, feigning interest in her world by asking about her passion for fine arts. Lee Soo reveals her background as an art historian, currently serving as a lead curator at the Haitian Art Center. He boasts about his connections to the Haitian group, yet shamelessly admits he knows nothing about actual art. He suggestively asks for private lessons on her day off, but Lee Soo responds with a silence that cuts deep. Unfazed, he keeps rambling, digging for the museum's location and wondering if her gallery is hidden in Wonju. He boldly plans a visit for next Wednesday, but Lee Soo has finally reached the limit of her royal patience. Dropping her teacup with a sharp clang, she slams him for making arrogant, unilateral decisions without her consent. The man tries to play it off with an apology, claiming his sudden passion for her clouded his judgment. He asks if his honesty is acceptable, but Lee Soo delivers a crushing blow, declaring that a future is impossible. Shocked, he demands an explanation. Lee Soo stands up, refusing to waste another second on a man she cannot respect. She admits she has no talent for fake smiles or empty talk. There simply is no spark between them. His ego bruised, the man explodes in rage, questioning why she even showed up if she intended to refuse. Lee Soo fires back that this was merely a family obligation. He snaps, insulting her character with a venomous tone. He accuses her of hiding behind elite dates to mask the shame of being an illegitimate, high society mistake. He sneers at her high and mighty attitude, wondering if she is embarrassed that her secret was finally exposed. He suggests she should have acted more decent instead of walking around with that unbearable royal air of superiority. He mocks her status, claiming she is totally clueless about where she truly belongs despite her golden family name. Lee Soo remains unfazed, calmly admitting she is glad he showed his true colors. She addresses him as Sang Kim. With a final command to call off the match, she turns away, leaving him frozen in a state of shock. Meanwhile, at the airport, the enigmatic third son of the Haitian group, Taeho Ryu, makes his grand return. Smoking in his car with a dangerous charm, he listens as his driver reports the vice president is waiting. Taejo asks if it is his younger brother, his mind already spinning with the upcoming duty-free shop bidding war. The battle for the downtown shop starts in September, and the stakes for the Haitian group are incredibly high. The driver notes the Industrial Development Department plans to seize this massive opportunity without any outside help at all. Taejo realizes his uncle Han Ryu is finally making a move. He then shifts focus to his brother's status. The driver says that while the pressure is immense, the preparations have been long. Success should be guaranteed soon. Taejo scowls, knowing his brother is always careful with money, so everything is likely calculated to the last cent. The driver mentions the vice president has massive expectations for Taejo, hoping he will finally take his place. Taejo scoffs at the idea, already dreading the inevitable lecture from a brother who lives to nag and control. He turns to his loyal assistant, Mr. Park, realizing it has been 8 years since they last saw Korea. After 8 long years in the United States, Taejo knows time zooms by and wonders how much has changed. Back at the hotel, Lee Soo stands in the downpour, the cruel words of her date echoing in her mind. She sighs, wondering how to explain another failed match to her mother, when a sleek car pulls up nearby. Taeho Ryu steps out, looking sharp and catching her eye. Their gaze meets through the mist in a fateful collision. As Mr. Park reminds him of the indoor smoking rules, Lee Soo's heart stops memories of him flooding back. Inside the Grand Tower, Mr. Park voices his disapproval before delivering an urgent update to Taeho Ryu. The cold vice president is waiting. Once finished, a prestigious dinner awaits at the exclusive Hanan restaurant. In Taeho's hometown of Jangchong, Mr. Park notes that a private villa is prepared for him. Taeho smirks, already sensing the control, but Park insists these orders come directly from the high office. The vice president specifically demanded Teo be briefed. Teo simply scoffs at the suffocating family rules. "Everyone needs to chill," Teo mutters, tired of being babysat, before entering the vice president's lair. Tahan Ryu, the ruthless second heir of HS International, stands to meet his brother with icy eyes. Acknowledging the long trip, Tahan remains cold. Teo ignores the tension and heads straight for the bar. Thirsty, Teo offers a drink, but Tahan's glare demands he sit down and act like a professional. Teo complains about the chilly reunion before finally taking a seat across from the family's golden boy. Tahan slams a stack of documents onto the table, ordering Teo to prove he's actually useful. Scanning the duty-free bid, Teo boasts about a grand plan he's already prepared for the downtown market. "Did you think I couldn't handle it?" Teo asks. Tahan merely shrugs, his expression unreadable and cold. Tahan dismisses his confidence as impatience, noting it's time Teo finally started pulling his own weight. Since the family funded his lavish education, Tahan reminds him that his freedom has a heavy price. Without results, he has no right to the family fortune. That is the iron law of Haitian. Their empire was built in blood and grit, starting from a dingy alleyway under their fierce founder. From founder Jangan Ryu to the expansion under Sang Ryu, they became Korea's undisputed corporate titans. Now, three heirs must expand the conglomerate or be crushed by the weight of their own legacy. The eldest, Tahan Ryu, reigns over the Haitian group and its massive electronics empire with absolute authority. Tahan serves as the iron-fisted vice president, while the youngest, Teo, has just returned from abroad. After finishing his elite MBA in record time, Teo enters a battlefield where only the strong survive. In a bloodline this powerful, expectations are absolute. There is zero room for mistakes or rebellion. All three brothers were raised as soldiers, their destinies etched into their very souls since their birth. Perhaps that suffocating weight is why Teo feels a burning urge to break free from his cage. "Why should I bother?" Teo challenges, refusing to be a puppet like his duty-bound older brother. Tahan counters with a sneer, comparing Teo to a stray animal that only obeys for a meal. To prove his worth, Teo is assigned the high-stakes bid for the prestigious downtown duty-free shop immediately. Elsewhere, at the Yoon residence, Isu Yoon returns to her mother, the wife of a powerful politician. Isu mentions the fragrant flowers, but her mother's response is cold, focused only on status and duty. The conversation turns to Isu's failed matchmaking. Her mother's disappointment hangs heavy like a toxic fog. Her father's political future relies on her marriage. In this house, Isu is just a strategic asset. Wilted flowers are discarded, her mother warns. Isu must remain useful or be thrown away like trash. Isu quietly agrees to play her part, her soul crushing under the pressure of her family's expectations. Sensing her exhaustion, her mother dismisses her, though the lack of affection is more draining than duty. Isu retreats in silence. Meanwhile, at a luxury lounge, Teo drinks with a circle of elite heirs. The group mocks Isu Yun, claiming the Ice Queen needs a harsh reality check on her place. They call her arrogant and plain, offended that a nobody would dare to act superior to them. "She should be grateful I even met her," one heir scoffs, his ego bruised by her coldness. They gossip about her breaking up with a top bachelor, calling her impressive yet totally delusional. The insults turn personal as they whisper about her scandalous birth. Isu is just an illegitimate mistake. They ask Teo if he remembers the outcast from high school. The name sparks a dormant memory. Teo denies knowing her, but his friends keep pushing, detailing her icy reputation and disastrous dates. Suddenly, it clicks. The girl from earlier. Was she really the legendary outcast of Hansung High? They bet that she's never even been loved. A wicked, manipulative plan begins to form. He muses if acting the part of a good guy attracted to pure hearts will work. His companion suggests a cruder route, seducing her and claiming her innocence right then. Teo's eyes glint as he proposes a bet. Whoever humbles the proud ISU wins a wish. 1 month to bring her to her knees. The deadline is their third date in Wonju. Inside the Haitian Art Center, ISU stands captivated by a single, mysterious piece of art. The painting whispers of a paradise tomorrow. Outside, Teo arrives, exuding a cold, wealthy aura. He scoffs at the poetic words about eternal love. To him, such things are fairy tales. He sneers at the fools who believe in romance. Impatiently, he checks the time, waiting. Then, he sees her. ISU. He wonders what she is doing in his mother's sanctuary. He spots her name tag and smiles. She is an employee here. The prey is trapped. Fate is playing a delicious game. Just then, his actual date arrives with a chirp. She calls him Appa, breathless and apologetic. She offers coffee to soothe his irritation. Teo barely acknowledges her. His gaze is a predator's, fixed solely on ISU across the room. At the table, the woman gushes about his unchanging charm, desperate for his cold attention. He responds with icy indifference. She rambles on about her love for the art center. She claims she flew here the moment she heard Teo had returned to the city. He gives a hollow yeah. She is blinded by his looks, thinking he is the ultimate cool guy. She probes about his heart, but Teo shuts her down. He is not looking for love. Her questions about his hobbies meet a wall of silence. He is clearly bored to death. As she persists, Teo's gaze turns sharp. He asks if she is truly ready for the answer. He admits he only craves the rush of adrenaline and pushing every physical limit possible. He leans in, his suggestion dark and provocative. The girl is left stunned and silent. He abruptly ends the farce. She asks if he will at least greet the director today. "My mother is not working today," he retorts. He leaves her behind without a second glance. She is left fuming. Inside, Teo mutters about the absolute waste of time called blind dating. Marriage is a prison he refuses to enter. But a new, thrilling game has appeared. Who would have guessed ISU worked here? Right under his mother's watchful management, the hunter approaches the receptionist. He needs a small favor to corner his new target. He stands before the art ISU admired. Then, a familiar voice echoes behind him. "I heard you were looking for me." He turns, challenging her to recognize his face. "You are the director's son," she states coldly. Teo mocks her lack of polite honorifics. "You are not my boss," she snaps back. Teo finds her defiance more intoxicating than beauty. He demands she explain the art, his tone thick with a dangerous, playful flirtatiousness. She obliges, detailing the Portuguese origins of the painting and the artist's legendary history. She recites facts about Antonio Castelo Saramago, keeping her professional mask perfectly in place. Teo interrupts, matching her knowledge. He is not interested in the facts she has memorized. He cuts her off. "I did not ask for history. I asked for your interpretation." He wants to hear the thoughts she hides behind that cold, professional employee facade. "What does paradise look like to you?" he asks, his voice low and intense. After a heavy silence, she speaks. To her, paradise is a place without any people. "So, total isolation?" He scoffs. He mocks her for acting like a well-trained puppet. He belittles her, suggesting she is just a common girl pretending to have deep thoughts. He invades her space, whispering a cold compliment that feels more like a threat. He calls her a doormat, testing her limits. ISU's temper finally begins to flare. He lights a cigarette, mocking the rules. She explodes, reminding him this is non-smoking. Isu demands he extinguish the cigarette, but Teo ignores her, lighting up with a cold smirk. He mocks her reputation as a stuck-up ice queen and brings up the rumors of her endless matchmaking dates. As Isu chokes on the smoke, she realizes this arrogant man hasn't the slightest clue who she really is. Sharpening her tongue, she fires back, asking if she should have invited him to those dates instead. Teo's gaze turns lethal. He crushes his cigarette, declaring he's the one who will finally humble her. He closes the distance, dropping a bombshell that leaves her breathless. He wants to hook up with her tonight. Teo suggests a night together would fix her attitude. A stunned Isu asks if he's completely lost his mind. She turns to leave, but he roughly seizes her wrist, stopping her in her tracks with an intense grip. He vows that their next encounter will end in his bed. Isu yanks her hand away, fueled by rage. She bids him a cold farewell, leaving Teo staring after her with a look of pure, frustrated irritation. In isolation, Isu relives the humiliation, cursing the moment she ever engaged with such a despicable man. While she mutters insults, she overhears staff whispering that Teo is actually the most elite of his brothers. They gossip about the high-profile woman he was seen with earlier, a daughter from the wealthy Hangkang Ilbo. Their giggles sting. Isu tries to shut out the noise, telling herself that his life doesn't concern her. Determined to move on, she returns to her desk, but her phone suddenly vibrates with an unexpected, urgent call. The caller is none other than San Kim. Meanwhile, at the judo center, Teo is locked in intense combat. He's sparring with his brother Hyung, but he's losing badly. Hyung asks if he's even trying today. Hyung taunts him about his glory days when he was a silver medalist in the National Judo Championships. Teo snaps, his pride wounded, and tells his brother to shut his mouth about the distant past. Hyung reminisces about how proud their grandfather was, but Teo only sees it as a mocking provocation. Teo lashes out, reminding Hyung of the time he broke his ribs during a particularly brutal, unhinged spar. Teo slams him to the mat, noting Hyung's annoying calmness. But Teo's own mind is drifting elsewhere. He admits he finds his brother to be a total jerk, unable to fathom his sister-in-law's choice. Hyung just smiles, standing up to deliver a simple truth: it was all for the sake of love. With a swift move, Hyung drops Tae-oh, cutting off his next insult by ending their training session early. Tae-oh demands another round, but Hyung orders him to hit the showers. They have a dinner reservation. Soon, the brothers are seated at a high-end restaurant, where Hyung observes Tae-oh's massive appetite. He offers his own portion, but Tae-oh coldly refuses, stating he never touches what isn't his. Hyung notes that territorial streak before casually mentioning Tae-oh's recent meeting with the mysterious Jaehaen. Tae-oh bristles, asking if their mother has been gossiping about his personal life once again. Hyung reminds him he's the family's last bachelor, making him the prime target for their mother's worries. Tae-oh argues that 2 married sons should be enough, but Hyung insists marriage would finally settle his spirit. Enraged, Tae-oh stands up, warning his brother to stay out of his private affairs once and for all. He declares he has zero intention of ever dating or settling down into a suffocating domestic life. He's content alone. As he storms off, Hyung shouts that he deserves to find true happiness. Tae-oh tells him to shut up and exits. Meanwhile, in another corner of the same restaurant, Lee-soo is enduring a dinner with her previous date, who asks if the drive over was exhausting. Lee-soo keeps her composure. The man then confesses his past rudeness, seeking a way to clear his conscience. He apologizes profusely for his behavior. Lee-soo accepts, though she's only here to appease her nagging mother. She realizes that without her mother's pressure, she would never have given this man a second thought. He praises her elegant manners, but Lee-soo only feels a sense of growing suspicion behind his compliments. She claims it's a first, all while wondering what hidden game this man is playing with her. He begs for a fresh start, promising to treat her like a queen if she gives him a chance. Lee-soo senses a trap. She coldly reminds him that their past interaction remains a separate, sour issue. She acknowledges her own coldness, but makes it clear his sudden offer won't erase his previous mistakes. ISU offers a cold apology, rejecting his proposal. There is simply no spark between them. As she turns away, San Kim chases her down, promising to fix his past mistakes. But his words ring hollow. ISU bluntly asks him to end this relentless, unwanted pursuit. Suddenly, he grabs her arm, growling that his apology should have been more than enough. ISU trembles, pleading for release, but he only tightens his grip, demanding one last chance. Is this a date? A mocking voice cuts through. It's Tae-oh, watching with a sharp gaze. He notes the bruised grip on her wrist. Small world, he remarks, locking eyes with ISU. Seizing the moment, ISU wrenches her hand free and flees, leaving the men behind. In the parking lot, ISU's pride stings. Why did Tae-oh have to witness her weakness? Her hand throbs from the struggle. Fumbling with keys, she feels her life spinning away. Nothing ever goes right, she whispers. Then, like a shadow, Tae-oh appears behind her again. He teases her with a smirk, asking if the meal was as bitter as her date. He leans in close, whispering a taunt. ISU quickly retreats into the safety of her car. I'm late, she blurs out. Tae-oh blocks the door, reminding her of their fateful second meeting. With a cryptic glance, he tells her to drive safely. ISU returns to her hollow home. Climbing the stairs, she feels the crushing exhaustion of a life she never truly chose. Suddenly, she freezes. Her mother is already plotting to marry her off within the year. Her mother is determined to trade her away, but her brother, Lehan, finally speaks up. Lehan scoffs at the twice-weekly matchmaking. He calls out their mother's obsession with forced dates. He compares her methods to breeding animals. To him, ISU is a sister, not a pawn. Lehan, the prestigious son of a National Assembly member, warns of the family's crumbling reputation. He knows the world is watching and asks if he will be the next one sold. But he knows the truth. Only ISU bears the brunt of their mother's deep-seated resentment. She's family, Lehan insists, but his mother's eyes flash with a hatred that spans decades. To her, ISU is the cocktail waitress who shattered their perfect world and destroyed everything. Looking at ISU is a recurring nightmare. Her mother's heart is a fortress of old wounds. Just disappear, she hisses before storming out. Lehan follows, trying to bridge the impossible gap. They find ISU waiting. The mother sneers, mocking her for ruining yet another perfect match. What is your worth to this house? She spits, leaving ISU standing in the wreckage. Lehan calls out, but ISU forces a smile and retreats to her only sanctuary, the bath. She whispers it's okay, but her mother's brutal honesty cuts deep as the tears fall. Tears flow unbidden. She tried so hard to belong, hoping effort would buy her peace. Now, she feels only a hollow numbness. She has become the ghost that nobody wants. An accidental cut draws blood, but she just sits and cries, lost in old memories. High school was a suffocating fog. Back then, her family's expectations felt like an iron collar. Only her brother understood. At the palace, he gave her a single moment of true freedom. "Speak up," he had told her. "Let the world know when you have had enough." That night, she ran. She wandered for 8 hours, a lost soul searching for an exit. When she returned, nothing had changed. Her mother didn't even notice her empty, cold bed. That was the day ISU realized the truth. If she vanished, no one would even care. It was a soul-crushing revelation. Yet, Lehan praised her for her small, silent rebellion. His words became her lifeline. "Don't hold back," he whispered, a promise she kept for years. Now, at breakfast, the cycle repeats. Lehan mentions a high society charity gala this coming Saturday. ISU hesitates, but Lehan insists. He needs her by his side as a united front. "It's a chance to shine," he says. But in this world, every invitation is a trap. Her brother's gone. Now Isu must weave through a web of high society networking. A charity gala? To Isu, it's just a room full of vultures in designer suits. The thought is suffocating. Today, her gut screams that something dangerous is lurking nearby. Isu radiates elegance, yet feels like a ghost. Without her brother, she's an unwelcome shadow. Isolation is her only shield until they approach the powerful Haitian group. No escaping now. Her brother forces a meeting. Taehoon and his wife are polite, but a storm is coming. Enter Taeo. When their eyes lock, the air turns heavy. The predator has found prey. Their history isn't a secret. Taeo's smirk says he remembers every detail from school. A curator, is it? Taeo's words drip with meaning, his gaze never leaving Isu's figure. She nods, mask firmly in place. Her brother, oblivious to tension, prepares to leave her. "Look after Isu," her brother says. "It's like throwing a lamb into the lion's den." Isu tries to flee, but Taeo blocks her path. His presence is a wall she can't climb. He mocks her, forcing her to stay. Isu's only escape? A retreat to the restroom. Memories of Taeo flood back. He's always been a chaotic force, living by his own rules. Now he's meddling again. Every word he speaks feels like a calculated and irritating jab. Emerging, she hopes he's gone. Instead, she finds something far worse. The cruel truth. 4 friends are whispering. Their words are sharp, jagged glass aimed at her heart. "Look at that lifeless face," they snicker. They don't see a human, only a target. They wonder why an illegitimate girl even dares to show her face among the elite. Isu freezes. The group's insults turn cruel, digging into her deepest and most painful insecurities. No friends, no future. They laugh, confirming every nightmare she's had about her existence. The weight of their hatred finally breaks her. This is how the world truly sees her. Then she sees Taeo. He witnessed her humiliation in chilling, heavy silence. He listens, annoyed. Why is she just standing there? Why isn't she fighting back? It hits him. Isu has survived a whole life of being a silent punching bag. "I am a doormat," she whispers. Her admission is a white flag that rattles him. She storms toward the parking lot, Taeo trailing like a shadow she can't shake off. "Ignoring me?" he demands, blocking her car. He won't let her retreat into her shell. She snaps. Why does he care? Is his reputation the only thing that matters here? He brings up their dark bargain. "We were supposed to sleep together," he reminds her. He acts hurt, but it's a game. Isu is pushed to the edge, her patience snapping. Years of being good led to this? To being mocked? The rage finally ignites. If she's a villain anyway, why not burn the whole world down today? "Will you leave me alone after?" she asks. A desperate trade for a shred of peace. Taeo is stunned by her sudden fire. Why is she finally giving in to him? "I'm just a doormat," she sneers. He grabs her, dragging her toward a fate of no return. Inside the car, Taeo watches her. He doesn't realize he's playing with fire, not a doll. "Not a word," she warns. If her resolve wavers for a second, she'll run away. Music fills the air. At the hotel, the atmosphere crackles with a dangerous, forbidden electricity. Their lips meet, but Isu flinches. "Are you actually afraid of me now?" he asks. No, she lies. He promises to be gentle, but his eyes tell a darker story. He looks at her like a prize. "Why that face? This isn't your first time." He mocks her kiss, yet he's captivated. Isu just wants the nightmare to begin. "Just do it," she demands. Taeo pauses, sensing a truth he wasn't prepared to handle. Silence is her answer. If he can't handle a virgin, he should walk away now. She claims he is just a common man. Taeo feels a strange sting. Why does this woman keep irritating his soul? He pins her against the bed. "You were trembling moments ago," he whispers. "Now you won't stop talking." Silence falls instantly. The night deepens in quiet passion. By morning, Taeo wakes to an empty bed. ISU has vanished like a fading dream. At the Haitian Art Center, ISU stands frozen. A week has passed since that night. The memories continue to haunt her. That electric spark still vibrates through her body. She checks her phone. Is she actually waiting for a call from him? It is foolish to hope. He lacks her number. This was just a final encounter to end their complicated, messy game. Perhaps it was all a hallucination. She tells herself it meant nothing. It is time to return to her normal life. A sharp voice calls her name. The director approaches with Teo in tow. ISU hides her shock behind a professional bow. "Get back to work," the director commands. ISU watches them leave. Later, Teo questions his mother about the mysterious girl. "That is ISU," she says, a brilliant employee with a keen eye. She is humble despite her talent and family name. The director admits she likes her. She asks if Teo is interested. He denies it, but she notes her high-class upbringing. The Yoon family raised her well. She is pure, unlike her mother. Teo realizes his mother is warning him to stay away. He knows the hidden meaning. Do not get involved. She then brings up his grandfather's grand 80th birthday party and celebration. She tells him to visit the old man. His grandfather adores him, yet Teo remains cold and distant toward his own family. "I am too busy," Teo replies bluntly. His mother wonders how siblings from the same womb can be so completely different. She insists he must finally settle down. The pressure of a high society marriage begins to tighten around his very neck. Teo remains unmoved. He appreciates her concern, but will handle his own affairs. His heart is not a pawn to play. He stands to leave, warning her to stop the matchmaking. "Your constant strategies are giving me a massive headache," he growls. She claims she does not use her children as bargaining chips. He offers a cynical smile. "Of course, you are mother." Outside, he scoffs at marriage. He will not die single. Yet the words about ISU continue to echo in his mind. He will survive alone. Then he sees her. ISU is leaving work. He stops her, unable to ignore her presence anymore. "Why so late?" he asks. "Do you handle the entire gallery's burden alone?" His voice holds a trace of hidden warmth. She questions why he is there. "Just business," he lies. He notes it has been a long time since their night. He asks about her health. "I am perfectly fine," she retorts. He then probes about her plans for the cold evening. She has an appointment. Another blind date, he mocks, handing her coffee. He suggests she ditch her plans for him instead. "Why now?" she asks. "You were a total stranger earlier." Her heart races as she searches his cold, dark, handsome eyes. Teo pulls her close, his grip firm. He insists they go. Soon they are at an elite restaurant, tension rising high. ISU demands to know his real intentions. He remains casual. "I simply wanted to share a meal with a beautiful woman." He reflects on their last encounter. "I enjoyed it more than you," he admits. He hates feeling indebted to anyone else. This dinner is his way of balancing things. ISU wonders if this is just guilt or a new, dangerous game beginning. He notes she likes the wine. "It suits your refined taste," he remarks. He identifies the vintage as the Queen of Bordeaux. It is a Chateau Margaux, the most elegant of wines. A drink that demands to be savored slowly with every sip. Floral notes dance on her tongue with every drop. It feels like a velvet hug, intricate and deeply intoxicating to her. The flavor is pure beauty, leaving a sweet aftertaste. It is the perfect companion for a long and very fancy dinner. "If you had one final drink before you died," he asks, staring deeply, "which wine would you choose for your end?" She is confused. "Am I dying?" He ignores the question, referencing a tragic Japanese novel called A Lost Paradise instead. In the story, the doomed lovers share Chateau Margaux. It is their very last meal before they choose to leave forever. They chose an eternal end to stay together. A desperate sacrifice born from a love that the world could never allow. "Let's fall to hell together," they said. ISU shivers. He has no idea how much those words truly affect her. She hides her inner pain. "I don't understand." She lies softly. Why would anyone choose such a tragic, final ending? "What did love mean to them?" she asks. "Have you ever felt that way?" Teo admits he has never found reason. "People play with hearts and call it love," she says. One person plays a game, while the other suffers for eternity. One soul spends a lifetime trying to heal. He watches her. "Are you talking about your own broken heart right now?" She doesn't deny the truth. He acknowledges her pain. Sometimes, he adds, desire is a force that logic simply cannot stop. When the mind weakens, physical urges take control. The boundary between reason and raw passion begins to dissolve away forever. That is how obsession takes root. Teo explains that in their prime, people carry this heavy burden, spiraling into tragedy through the delusion of love. He thinks she will eventually understand. but she retorts that such a moment will never arrive for her. Neither obsession nor love will consume her. Tae finds her amusing and shifts the papid conversation to ordinary life. Though it was a sudden outing, she is genuinely enjoying their talk. They discuss everything from high culture to the global economy with ease. He is far more brilliant than she imagined. She is not bored at all. A new side of him is revealed. As they walk, she admits his intelligence is impressive. Tae asks for her first impression. She calls him the Prince of Hansung-hae, the arrogant heir of Haitian group and a spoiled playboy. He simply agrees with a smirk. She realizes Tae remains untouched by rumors or insults. He is truly a different breed. When asked about their day, she calls it memorable. Tae's happiness seems surprisingly genuine. He offers to drive her home. As the car moves, she watches him in silence. Is he being kind because of guilt? She tries to find a logical reason for this. Tae scoffs, claiming there is no secret meaning. He was just hungry for her company. She realizes he acts on pure whim, just like the night they shared a bed. A cold realization settles in. His sudden intrusion into her life was just a game. He shook her soul for no reason at all. She was the only one confused. At her house, she offers a polite farewell. Then Tae stops her with a question. He asks why she ran away that night. He has been waiting for an answer. She insists they are done. Tae asks if she thinks they were just having fun. She claims it is all in the past, but he gently reaches for her cheek. Tae smirks, treating her like a pawn in a game. He leans in, voice dripping with honeyed venom. Was it disappointing? He steals a kiss, but ISU pushes him back with icy defiance. He frowns, his wounded pride surfacing. Is the prize not enough? You're pathetic, she spits. He thought conquering her body once would make her submissive, but her spirit remained unbroken. Tae's eyes darken with predatory hunger. Then I'll just have to try harder. Round 2 today? ISU mocks his arrogance. Is that your only talent? She scoffs, wounding his ego. Then, she throws down a lethal challenge to his character. Prove you're a decent man, or disappear. He pulls her close, whispering a warning. Don't regret this. I always finish my games. ISU meets his gaze, unfazed by his intensity. Fine, show me. The bet is on, and the stakes are rising. Rewind to high school. ISU was the untouchable ice queen everyone craved, but her so-called friends were nothing but venomous snakes. Faking pain, a girl dumps her chores on ISU. As the room empties, the cold and arrogant Tae storms in, eyes blazing. Get out, he barks, but ISU doesn't flinch. Clean it yourself, she retorts. Years later, at the elite Haitian hotel. At the gym, Tae is haunted by ISU's challenge. Suddenly, his perfect rival and cousin, Jin Hanru, disrupts his focus. The powerful director of HSDC wears a mask of perfection. Long time no see, Tae. Still playing in the dirt? Tae stays icy. I'm fine. Hanru eyes his physique, a silent reminder of the eternal competition between these two titans. Tae fires back a shallow compliment. The tension between the cousins is thick enough to draw blood. Over coffee, the corporate war begins. Tae mentions the massive Jeju Island project, testing the waters of Hanru's ambition. A duty-free shop too? You must be exhausted, Tae prods, searching for any weakness in his cousin's flawless armor. Hanru sighs, feigning humility. It's a new challenge, even for me. Managing an empire requires more than just luck. Tae smirks, his words sharp as a blade. Hard? Please. This kind of success is simply written in our divine bloodline. A monkey could handle it, Tae scoffs. Hanru's eyes flash. I look forward to seeing what you bring to the table. Jean Hanru, the shadow Tae, could never escape. 5 years older and always 5 steps ahead in this brutal family race. Since childhood, life was a game of chase. For every gold Hanru claimed, Tae was forced to settle for silver. From sports festivals to piano recitals, Tae was always the runner-up, the eternal second place, now starving for the crown. Tae's ego was bruised. Even with his national awards, Jeannen's presence haunted him. Even with talent, Tae feels overshadowed by Jin Han's brilliance. Driven by rivalry, Tae vows to make his shop a success. Tae probes Jin about marriage, seeking a hidden vulnerability. Jin remains unshaken, waiting for the perfect fated encounter. Tae's gaze shifts to Isu, a pawn in his hidden game. Abandoning the chat, Tae moves to intercept Isu immediately. He corners Isu, mocking her presence at this desperate event. Tension flares as they trade sharp words in the hall. He challenges her integrity while she remains cold and distant. Claiming his prize, Tae drags her away from the crowd. He ridicules her bridal training, masking his growing obsession. Demandingly, He steals 5 hours of her life today. Give me a shot, he insists, marking her as his. In his private sanctuary, the air grows thick with desire. He tests her, wondering if she is truly so innocent. Don't overthink this, he warns, though his heart wavers. He asks if this cycle of matchmaking exhausts her soul. Why not just refuse? He pushes her to break free. She feels trapped by duty, a puppet of her family. Powerless to resist, she falls into his sudden, protective embrace. Let me handle it, Teo whispers, offering a dangerous escape. She clings to him, yet refuses help, choosing patience instead. Teo sneers at her foolish hope that time heals everything. Passion erupts, blurring the lines between the bet and reality. His plan to dump her shatters. Something has shifted today. He craves her forever, overwhelmed by an unknown burning sensation. Though her presence irks him, his heart refuses to let go. Her brokenness and hidden layers are becoming his sweet addiction. The cold player is finally falling for his own target. As she dresses to leave, Teo feels a sharp sting. You used me, then discarded me? He lashes out bitterly. He demands a real date, desperate for more than skin. Isu's confusion only fuels Teo's growing, dark frustration. Will you truly walk away and never look back again? He accuses her of lying about ever giving him a chance. She admits the truth, crushing his pride with a nod. There is nothing between us, she says, ending the charade. He grips her arm, refusing to let his obsession end. Stop the matchmaking, he orders, his possessiveness flaring bright. He refuses to share what he has claimed as his. It's unfair to play with me while seeking a husband. She suggests he find another, but his heart is locked. Fine, it ends here, he spits, as she walks away. Teo stands alone, his heart completely shattered in the shadows. Isu meets Suan-ju, hiding her exhaustion behind a mask. Suan sighs, exhausted by today's grueling lesson, yet she marvels at how effortlessly Isu handles everything. Watching Isu's flawless technique, Suan feels deeply inspired and vows to reach that elite level one day. After a warm goodbye, Isu smiles at Suan's kindness until a sudden collision sends her world spinning. Her lunchbox shatters on the pavement, food scattering everywhere as the stranger offers a frantic apology. He admits he was distracted and kneels to clean the mess, though Isu quickly tries to stop him. She insists his fine handkerchief shouldn't be ruined, but he refuses to leave her to clean alone. Isu tells him the food was destined for the trash anyway, urging him not to feel so guilty. She walks away with effortless grace, missing the stranger's desperate attempt to catch her attention once more. He catches a whiff of her shampoo, the signature scent of the Haitian hotel, reminding him of Jahan's cousin. Later, Suan scolds Jahan for his tardiness, but he simply shrugs, mentioning he just finished a long shift. He asks about her husband, and Suan proudly describes the feast she prepared in her cooking class. Jahan teases that having such a devoted wife is the ultimate blessing for any man in their family. Then, his tone shifts as he asks about a striking woman with long hair and captivating eyes. Suan identifies her as Isu, the art center curator, wondering if Jahan has finally found someone he likes. Back in her room, Isu massages her aching legs, her mind drifting back to her tense encounter with Teo. Her brother, Lehan, enters with a heavy expression, carrying news that will shatter her peaceful evening. He warns her that Teo Ryu from the Haitian group made a cruel bet involving her heart. Isu remains cold, assuring her brother that she has no intention of ever seeing that man again. As Lehan leaves, Isu hardens her resolve, vowing that her chapter with Teo is officially closed forever. At the Haitian hotel, the elite gather to celebrate the 80th birthday of the legendary founder, Jung-an Ryu. Isu's mother criticizes her simple outfit, warning her that her father's judgmental eyes will be watching. Feeling like an outsider, Isu wonders whose blood she truly carries in this house of cold shadows. She watches the powerful Jung-an Ryu from a distance, noting the immense authority he still commands at 80. Suddenly, Lehan approaches with urgent news. Both their father and the formidable grandfather have finally arrived. Her mother greets the patriarch, who unexpectedly beckons Isu to step forward into the high society spotlight. He leads her directly to Jung-an Ryu, formally introducing her as his own cherished granddaughter. Jung-an praises her beauty as Isu politely offers her warmest birthday wishes to the powerful chairman. As she turns to leave, the chairman hints at introducing her to one of his many eligible grandsons. For an illegitimate child used to being invisible, this sudden public acknowledgement feels like a long-awaited dream. But the moment is interrupted when Jahan appears, greeting her with a knowing and gentle smile. He reveals he is the grandson of the man of honor, making his presence here quite natural. They exchange formal introductions, and Isu realizes with a jolt that he is actually Teo's cousin. He asks if she made it home safely. while Isu inquires about the fate of his ruined handkerchief. He admits the cloth was lost, then mentions he knows her respected older brother, Lehan. He notes her father's strange silence regarding her, which explains why they had never met before. Noticing her quiet discomfort, he quickly takes the blame for their messy encounter with a sincere apology. To make amends for the ruined meal, Jahan asks if he can take her to dinner soon. Isu smiles and accepts his invitation, feeling a strange comfort in his remarkably kind and gentle demeanor. She mentions the suffocating crowd, and he agrees, feeling the weight of the social expectations around them. He whispers a secret he often escapes to a quiet sanctuary near the hotel's secluded annex building. It's the perfect place to hide from the world, and he invites her to find peace there. Handing her his business card, he encourages her to call him whenever the world feels too loud. He promises to visit her gallery soon, leaving Isu thinking he might be the kindest man alive. But her warmth fades when she spots Teo watching them, his eyes burning with a dark, jealous rage. Teo seethes in the shadows, remembering her cold rejection and realizing their twisted game is far from over. Seeing Isu smile at his cousin, a bitter truth hits. She's never looked at him like that. In the annex, Isu exhales. Her grandfather finally acknowledged her, but the weight is heavy. Duty now calls. Suddenly, Teo strides in, the flick of his lighter cutting the silence. Exhaling smoke, he complains about the crowd. He's been searching for her with dark eyes. Waiting for someone? He sneers. Recalling her brother's warning, Isu meets him with cold silence. Teo suggests they bury the past, wanting to erase the moment he tried to discard her. He calls them a mistake, yet her chilling indifference only fuels his rising, toxic fury. Rage bubbles as she remains silent. He's desperate to pierce her impenetrable, icy mask. Her attitude is maddening. He wonders why this insignificant girl still holds his heart captive. Is it love? He denies it, instead accusing her of targeting his cousin for status. Is he next? He demands, haunted by the memory of her laughing with Janan. He regrets his blindness. To him, she's a predator who takes and leaves without a word. Do you enjoy hurting people? He snarls, unable to believe she's acting like a stranger. Why can't he let go? Isu finally speaks, her voice devoid of any warmth or mercy. What is there to say? She sighs, telling him it's finally time to end this farce. He grabs her. Stop what? He roars, convinced their twisted story hasn't truly begun. Let me go, she commands. He pins her down, demanding she confess her true feelings. Is it Jinan? Is that why? He bellows. Isu asks if that's the answer he wants. She calls Janan a good man. Teo realizes his cruel bet has become his own prison. Driven by toxic rage, Teo forces a kiss. Isu pulls away, her expression hauntingly vacant. Are you done? She asks. Teo freezes. He's touched her body but never her soul. She always maintained a cold, invisible wall he could never breach. Why does this distance sting so much? This hollow ache consumes him. Ending this now would be a waste, he growls, refusing to let her go. He claims her lips in a feverish kiss, then demands to know what she truly sees in his cousin. Is she just playing with his heart before running back to Jihan? The thought alone burns like pure acid. Their story isn't over yet, but her voice is like shards of ice. I'm done playing your twisted games. Just walk away, she whispers. Does he even matter to her, or is he just a passing shadow? He grips her hand tightly, leading her out. Suddenly, San Kim appears with a mocking, predatory smirk. On a date? San laughs. You know this was all just a bet, right? The cruel truth shatters the silence. Inside the car, Teo watches Isu's hauntingly calm face. Don't you ever get angry? He asks, suffocating in the tension. Is she mad about his forceful touch, or the wager on her heart? Her response is a cold winter breeze. I never expected sincerity from you, she admits quietly. To her, he was never more than a temporary storm. Why expect a heart from a man who only asked for her body the very moment they first met? Teo flinches at her indifference. He'd rather she scream in rage than treat him like he doesn't exist. Her lack of emotion is the ultimate weapon. As they arrive, the click of her seatbelt sounds like a final goodbye. You're right, he confesses. The bet was to see who could seduce you in just 3 meetings. He blames the ego and the alcohol, desperately trying to bridge the gap. But his excuses fall on deaf ears. Don't overcomplicate things, she interrupts coldly. It's not like we were ever anything truly special. She exits with a polite, hollow thanks. Later at the art center, colleagues gasp at a stunning, unexpected sight. A lavish bouquet arrives for Isu. Is that from your boyfriend? They tease, but she quickly denies the claim. Before she can finish, her coworker sighs in jealousy, wishing for a romance as grand as this. Alone, Isu stares at the blooming petals. Who could have sent these? Could it be the man who broke her? Surely not Tae-ho. Could Jaehyun be the one? Her heart skips as she finds the handwritten card inside. It's Jaehyun's unmistakable high-class style. Beaming, she tells her team she's heading out but will return in a heartbeat. Once outside, she dials his number, heart racing. Jaehyun answers, calmly confirming he was indeed the one behind the gesture. Janan asks about her palette, playing the perfect gentleman. Isu remains polite, hiding her true, complicated feelings. Compared to Taeho's chaotic storm, Janan feels safe. To her, Tae-ho is just a thoughtless, selfish player. He means nothing until he appears under the streetlights. Taeho's eyes narrow at the rival's flowers. Dump those, he growls, his jealousy flaring up. She thinks he's lost it, but he's deadly serious. He thrusts a small, mysterious box into her palms. Inside lies a golden trap she never saw coming. A luxury bracelet, a mark she can't put on alone. Does he even realize the romantic weight of this? He claims her wrist, his touch burning her skin. Matching sets. They're shackles, he smirks with intensity. A permanent brand of possession. Never take it off. A sincere apology leaves her world spinning wildly. Like a boy seeking praise, he demands her heart. She laughs, masking the flutter deep in her chest. My sincerity is a joke? His gaze turns predatory. He steals her breath with a sudden, deep kiss. Could this cold-hearted gambler actually be falling for real? The silence in the car is heavy with tension. She acts cold, but her walls are slowly crumbling. He tosses the rival's gift like it's worthless trash. Mine is worth more, he declares, hiding his ache. He's desperate just to be in her orbit again. Finally home, escaping the suffocating world of matchmaking. But a single vibration brings his presence back instantly. Tae-ho is hunting for her attention once again. Come out now. His command is impossible to resist. He's already at her gates, bold and completely relentless. Panic and excitement collide as she rushes to him. He's a hurricane, dragging her into his selfish world. Dressed up for me? He teases, reading her perfectly. His thumb grazes her lips, igniting a silent fire. He's sulking because she didn't call him first. Why do you hate me? He wonders, truly bothered. She calls him selfish, yet she still chooses him. Little do they know, her brother is watching closely. A date without a map? Just two lost souls. He wants to find the girl beneath the mask. She has no hobbies, only a life of duty. Her youth was spent preparing for a loveless marriage. Let's watch a movie, he suggests, breaking her chains. Her very first date, and it's with her greatest enemy. ISU watches him closely, wondering why this cold player hasn't made a move yet. For the first time in years, her genuine laughter echoes through the dark theater. As the credits roll, she's breathless from a finale she never saw coming. Tae-ho praises the brilliant twist while ISU clutches her stomach from laughing so hard. He smiles, hiding the guilt of his bet behind a mask of pure satisfaction. Is the night over? Tae-ho surprises her by suggesting a walk under the stars. They reach the palace, where Tae-ho claims he once worked nearby in the city. It's her first time at Changdeok Palace, though she knows the other landmarks well. Tae-ho probes for more, and she confesses to running away here in high school. That day marked her first spark of rebellion against a life of cold perfection. He teases his innocent date, calling her a bigger rebel than he ever was. Peace settles over them as they wander through the quiet, ancient palace grounds. In this world of two, they are finally free from the judging eyes of society. She claims to dislike his company, yet her heart is racing at every step. She asks about his life, curious if a man like him even has hobbies. People like us don't have hobbies, he replies. We only have duties and work. Searching for an escape, he leads her toward the warmth of the hidden greenhouse. Amidst the lush greenery, Tae-ho's gaze lingers on her instead of the flowers. He tickles her with a leaf, shattering the heavy silence with her beautiful laughter. Don't leave, he whispers, pulling her into a kiss that changes the game entirely. They sit in the shadows, fingers intertwined as the line between lie and truth blurs. She admits her life is nothing but a cycle of bridal classes and expectations. Only art gives her a reason to breathe in a world that feels like a cage. She chooses overtime at the gallery just to escape the soul-crushing matchmaking events. This movie date was her first moment of freedom since her teenage years. Tae-ho realizes the depth of her isolation, his plan to dump her starting to crumble. She's been through countless meetups, but never found a soul worth her heart. For ISU, marriage was never about love, it was a debt she had to pay. She believes her only worth lies in becoming a perfect wife for the family. Tae-ho's anger flares at the thought of her being treated like a mere commodity. He vows to focus only on this moment, ignoring the chains of their bloodlines. He drops her home, the air thick with words neither of them is ready to say. The bet was just a game, but Tae-ho realizes he's now playing for keeps. A soft goodnight passes between them, leaving a lingering spark in the cold air. As they part, both are haunted by the same question. What are we now? The boundary between a calculated scheme and true love has finally vanished. Her brother waits in the darkness, his eyes narrowing at her late-night return. She brushes him off with a lie, retreating upstairs to hide her flushed face. Meanwhile, at the family estate, the grandfather summons everyone for a grim announcement. He demands to know the exact ages of the heirs, Gon and Teo. The time has come to secure the family's future through a strategic marriage. He sets his sights on the art center's granddaughter as the perfect political match. Teo's mother describes the girl as a bright light, but her tone is venomous. She reveals the scandalous truth: the girl is an illegitimate stain on her noble family. A child born of such shame, she sneers, will never understand what real love is. Living with a woman fueled by betrayal, the patriarch suddenly announces a shocking plan for Teo and Songi. He intends to bind them in marriage. Isu recoils, desperately reminding him of Teo's reckless and immature nature. "Isn't Songi a good girl?" he counters. Isu falters, unable to deny the truth but fearing the consequences. She begs for more time, calling Teo selfish. However, Jahan stuns the room by suddenly volunteering for it. The bombshell drops at home. Isu's mother reveals that the grandfather has already arranged her own marriage. Isu freezes in shock. Her groom is none other than the elite heir of the Haitian Empire, Jahan-ru. Her mother warns her to stay composed. The cold wheels of high society duty have finally begun to turn. Her brother calls with a chilling warning. "I know about you and Teo. Break it off right now." He warns of the danger in Teo's shadow. A man like him will only leave you in pieces. "Find someone who treats you with dignity," he pleads, leaving Isu alone with a heavy, hollow heart. As he leaves, a wave of bitter disappointment washes over her. Reality is a cold, suffocating cage. She mourns a love that died in the dark, ending abruptly before it ever had a chance. Days later, she meets Jahan. He promised a meal, but the setting feels like a formal contract signing. They are at a place where lives are traded for status. Isu forces a smile, pretending she's okay. The atmosphere is clinical, filled with polite, empty laughter from those preparing for their assigned futures. Every word is a brick in the wall of their upcoming, perfectly manufactured marriage. Jahan asks what she seeks in a spouse. "I want to be someone's top priority," she whispers softly. He fits the mold perfectly. Jahan asks for her thoughts, and she acknowledges his impeccable family background. He agrees, believing their union will build a powerful dynasty. Stability is the only thing he offers. Jahan is the perfect choice, a man raised in light, free from the darkness that haunts men like Teo. Marrying him means the gossip will die. She can finally have the peaceful life she always wanted. But doubt lingers. It has to be fine. Isu looks at him and asks, "Do you love me?" "Not yet," he admits. "But living together will surely grow the seeds of affection between us both." He promises to make her his priority, offering the steady, safe devotion she's always claimed to desire. But physical chemistry often betrays the mind. In her moment of vulnerability, the mask begins to slip. Suddenly, Teo's face flashes before her. Why must he haunt her now, of all times? Her hands tremble as tears spill over. The pain of the past crashes through her fragile exterior. Jahan stands and pulls her into an embrace, whispering empty reassurances as her heart breaks in two. At the art center, her phone screams, "Teo has called 11 times, a relentless ghost seeking her." 2 weeks have passed since she chose Jahan's hand. She's tried to bury every memory of Teo. She tells herself Teo must move on. Their connection was nothing but a fleeting, meaningless moment. As she leaves the gallery, a shadow looms. Teo is waiting for her, eyes burning with fury. "Why aren't you answering?" he demands. She falters, hiding behind the safety of her work excuses. He snatches her phone, seeing he isn't blocked. 2 weeks of silence have pushed him to madness. "Ignore me again, and I'll tear this place apart," he warns. Teo then insists that she get in. Isu resists, but Teo's overwhelming presence leaves her with no escape. He urges her to hurry up. "I'm not kidnapping you, yet," he says, as they speed away into the devouring silence of the night. They arrive at the edge of the world. The ocean roars, mirroring the chaos inside Isu's chest. "You love the sea, don't you?" Teo asks, his gaze fixed on the endless, dark horizon. He watches her lose herself in the view, then makes a wild offer. "Want me to buy it?" Isu is stunned by his insanity. "Talk sense. You can't just own the entire ocean, Teo." A dark smile plays on his lips. "Why not? I get what I want. That's how I live." To him, the world is a playground where desire equals possession. He's never known the word no. "Everything I want becomes mine," he declares. And I can make that legendary life yours as well. He seizes her hand, pulling her toward the tide. Isu is trapped in his overwhelming, terrifying obsession. Isu realizes this madness must end, but Teo suddenly pulls her back into his world. Under the falling stars, she makes a silent wish, knowing their hearts remain miles apart. In the quiet of her soul, Isu prays for a final end, a wish unheard by anyone. Teo's voice breaks the silence, asking about the sea, but Isu only feels the urge to flee. He grips her tight, confused by her coldness, desperate to know why she's pulling away now. Even in his arms, the distance feels freezing. Does she truly loathe him this much? Suddenly, Isu clings to him, seeking warmth before he whispers that everything will be all right. They retreat to the car, where the tension between them explodes into a moment of intimacy. Consumed by a hunger he's never known, Teo aches to lose himself in her heat forever. After being distant for so long, this newfound closeness feels like a beautiful, terrifying dream. Is this love or just passion? Teo is losing his mind, fearing this night is final. He warns her never to date another man, keeping her hidden side all to himself. "You're mine," he declares, refusing to let go, while she silently echoes his desperate desire. After the fire dies down, Isu holds him close, wishing this moment would never end. He promises her eternity, but reality crashes as she confesses her impending marriage to another. The bomb drops. She's marrying at the customs HQ, right during the most crucial business bid. Kang urges Teo to stay sharp, but the young heir is drowning in her betrayal. Distracted and restless, Teo's mask slips just as Jinhan walks in with a confident smirk. Jinhan offers a cold handshake, wishing him luck as they battle for the company crown. The memory of Isu's confession haunts him. How could she marry his own cousin? He had laughed it off, but the engagement proved their long history meant absolutely nothing. Rage flares, he won't allow it. Yet, seeing her resolved face, he curses her name in spite. Back in the present, Teo finds Jinhan's smug face absolutely nauseating as they face off. Jinhan mocks his nerves, but Teo fires back, telling his rival to watch his back. The air turns icy as Jinhan announces his engagement ceremony is set for next month. Masking his agony with a smile, Teo shakes hands, playing the role of the perfect cousin. He asks the ultimate question: does Jinhan truly love Isu, or is she a trophy? Mentioning the bracelet she wears, Teo baits him, knowing the dark secrets behind that gift. Frustration boils over. Teo claims he doesn't love her, yet losing her is pure torture. Would she still choose him if she knew the truth? Jinhan dismisses his concerns entirely. Warning Teo to stay out of their business, Jinhan turns away, leaving Teo in the shadows. Days later, Teo is drowning his sorrows with friends, his victory feeling hollow and bitter. His inner circle bets on his misery, noticing how drained the bidding war champion looks. Despite winning the contract, Teo's heart is clearly elsewhere, buried under the weight of regret. The gossip turns to Isu's engagement, a headline shocking the entire high society circle. They marvel at her ambition, wondering how a girl like her climbed the social ladder. From matchmaking events to landing a conglomerate heir, they whisper about her calculated moves. Wasn't she Teo's plaything? They sneer, debating which titan she manipulated to get ahead. Teo's temper flares as the insults fly, his protective instincts clashing with his broken pride. A friend reminds him of the bet to ruin her, but now Teo is the one ruined. They laugh, convinced a cold player like Teo could never actually fall for a pawn. Suddenly, the room goes still. Jinhan and Isu arrive looking like the perfect power couple. Unable to breathe, Teo storms out, watching her from the balcony with eyes of longing. Below, Jinhan dotes on her, but Isu looks like a beautiful doll trapped in a cage. As the upbeat music plays, the distance between them has never felt more permanent. Isu prepares her own heavy, secret confession. Jinhan insists the past doesn't matter now. He only cares about their future together. They focus on music and their duties. Jinhan kneels, offering a ring of promise. He asks for a fresh start together. Teo's friend insults Isu's lowly social status. Teo snaps, starting a violent, bloody brawl. Outside, Teo feels a wave of regret. Does she love him? He doubts everything. Jinhan finds Teo hiding his broken pride. Fury begins to consume Teo's entire soul. He realizes his burning rage is love. He was a fool to ignore it. Now he's trapped in one-sided longing. Isu feels trapped by the ring's weight. Teo appears, confronting her with desperate intensity. He grabs her, demanding a real explanation. Is he the only one feeling pain? Isu pulls away, cold and completely detached. Why does he care after discarding her? He once demanded a clean, heartless break. They must return to being total strangers. This tragic end fits their twisted story. Taeo demands she cancel the engagement now. He gives her a choice. End it. ISU begs him to stop her suffering. She's just a disgraced, low-born daughter. She's spent her life just trying to survive. He could never understand her silent struggle. Taeo insists Jinhan doesn't truly love her. He claims Jinhan can't offer true devotion. He vows to finally give her love. He wants a future built from wreckage. His words come too late for her. He was once her only shining star. Their rebellion was her only true sanctuary. He alone understood her deepest hidden self. She's grateful, but their time has ended. She has forgotten how to smile again. Taeo's mother interrupts their intense emotional standoff. At a cafe, she demands the truth. She's heard rumors of his violent obsession. Taeo finally breaks, revealing his hidden heart. He confesses his love, leaving her stunned. His mother pleads with him to snap out of it. Isu is forbidden fruit, his future cousin-in-law. A family scandal looms. Taeo confesses he is drowning in a sea of forbidden desire and obsession. Every second is a battle. He fights the dark urge to kidnap Isu and vanish from society. Have you lost your mind? His mother screams as the engagement headlines hit every major newspaper. The entire nation is watching. The news of this union has spread like a wildfire across the country. Taeo wears a chilling smile. He confesses his undying love before heading to his grandfather's den. He demands the engagement be canceled immediately. Isu was his woman long before this family mess. The old man's response is ice cold. She is not carrying your child, so end this obsession. She is the past now. His grandfather sneers, wondering if Taeo has truly descended into madness. Would you really burn our entire legacy to the ground for the sake of one woman? Taeo fires back. He knew this confrontation was coming, but his heart requires no one's permission. The patriarch's rage explodes. A heart cannot be stolen by force. It must be offered freely. You have never tasted true loss. The old man mocks Taeo's arrogance and lack of perspective. To love her is to respect her choices, even if they leave you bleeding on the floor. If your love is real, you will let her go. He believes time will eventually erase her. Taeo's voice is a low growl. If I could forget her, it wouldn't be love at all. I have never lost a single battle since birth. I refuse to lose my most precious treasure. He is determined to keep her. If this is true love, he will fight the whole world. Inside his car, he desperately dials her number. The line is dead. Silence is his only answer. He feels like a pathetic stalker. His heart is frozen as the weight of his mistakes hits. He regrets the games he played. He should have treated her like a queen from the start. Just one more chance. Lehan suddenly knocks on the glass, his eyes full of hidden daggers. Why are you lurking here? Lehan demands. You have no idea what Isu is suffering through. Can she even breathe in that cage? Taeo wonders. Lehan snaps that it is none of his business. Stay away from her forever. Isu chose this path herself, and there is no turning back. That is a lie, Taeo shouts. He knows Isu will never find happiness in a loveless marriage. Lehan scoffs. Would your prestigious family ever truly accept a woman like her by your side? You cannot make her happy. The decision is final, so stop wasting your breath and time. I am willing to risk everything for her. Taeo's declaration echoes with a dangerous finality. Will you really abandon your bloodline? Lehan asks, expecting nothing but a hollow promise in return. At home, Isu stares at her plate. She begs her mother to postpone the engagement party. Her mother freezes in shock. Isu explains that she needs more time to find her breath. It is just pre-wedding nerves. Her mother dismisses the suffocating weight as a common bride's anxiety. You must meet with Mr. Ri today, ease his worries and secure our family's future glory. Her father's high hopes weigh her down. She feels like a sacrificial lamb for the family name. She rushes to prepare, but disaster strikes. A glass shatters, mirroring her own fragile state of mind. Sharp glass pierces her skin. Blood drips as her mother calls for the maids to clean. Back in the corporate world, Taeo sits in silence. He is haunted by the ghost of Isu. You promised me a break if we won the bid. Hyung questions his brother's recent strange behavior. The real war is just beginning. Taeo must ensure his representation is absolutely flawless and dominant. Take charge of the headquarters. Hyung demands total focus on the empire they are building together. The chairman's memoir must be finished. The pressure from the family is mounting by the hour. You are heading to Jeju next week. We must finalize the branch before the grand ceremony. Check the site before we lock everything in. The business world waits for no broken heart. You might as well chain me up. Taeo jokes, his eyes reflecting a deep, hidden sorrow. Taeo feels the heavy burden of his choices as they arrive. Isu feels like she's drifting into another world entirely. While the staff chatters, Teo realizes that without Isu, his life is a hollow void. She's slipping through his fingers. Suddenly, a massive portrait crashes down on Teo. As darkness takes him, he gasps out one final, desperate plea. "Don't leave me," he mutters before passing out. Meanwhile, at the Haitian hotel, a different kind of storm is brewing. Jinan questions Isu about their engagement. She claims everything is fine, but her heart clearly isn't in the lie. He admires her dress, but notices her bare hand. The engagement ring, the symbol of her promise, is missing. Time is up, Jinan warns. He demands she speak her true feelings before they're both trapped in a loveless marriage. Before Isu can confess, Jinan's phone rings. His expression hardens as he orders the caller to keep him informed. He breaks the news. Teo has been injured. Isu's composure shatters instantly, her face pale with pure, raw terror. She trembles, desperate to know if he's okay. Jinan realizes then her heart was never his to begin with. He sends her Teo's location. Isu stands, unable to breathe from the worry. She can't play this part anymore. She starts to apologize, but Jinan cuts her off. "Let's end this," he says, finally setting them both free. He knows it's the right call. Watching her rush to his rival, he wonders if he ever stood a chance. It would never happen. He scoffs, absolutely hating his role as the accidental matchmaker in this twisted game. Rushing to the door, Isu knows her world will burn for this. Her family will never forgive her betrayal. Teo opens the door, and the air between them ignites. He pulls her inside, his gaze burning with intensity. She's frantic about his injuries, but Teo doesn't care about the pain. He only cares that she's finally here. He reassures her it's nothing. Yet he's shaken. Why did she come? Why risk everything for a man like him? She claims it was just worry, but he scoffs. "Why waste your tears on a fool like me?" he demands. She tries to flee, but Teo stops her cold. "Who said I was all right?" he whispers, his voice thick with longing. He admits he's a pathetic idiot. Even while bleeding, his only thought was her. He's completely lost to her. He suggests they vanish. They should hide in a place where the world's judgment can never find them again. Isu claims she's just checking on him, but Teo pulls her close. "Is that really all?" he challenges, eyes dark. "Let's make a mistake," he whispers, kissing her passionately. They surrender to the fire, right there on the couch. He confesses his love, and silently, Isu echoes it. As they become one, the weight of reality starts to fade. She knows she must tell him about the breakup, but the words won't come. She just wants this moment. She feels selfish for craving him this much. Teo pulls her closer, telling her there's no need for apologies anymore. He'll be the villain who stole his cousin's woman. He'll take the blame and the consequences without a single regret. "I'll be your hell and your paradise," he vows. Wherever they end up, they will face it together, forever. Later, they watch the sunset in a fragile peace. Isu is happy, yet terrified that the truth will ruin everything. She doesn't want to destroy his life with her selfishness, but then Teo points toward a nearby art gallery. Inside, he asks about her passion for painting. She describes it as a journey of both bondage and total freedom. For her, art is an escape. He asks where she truly wants to go, and her answer is hauntingly simple. "To the end of the world," she replies. She's searching for a paradise where their happiness isn't a crime. He promises to take her there. As she walks away, he catches her in a hug, whispering a dangerous dream. "Let's run away," he suggests. "A place where it's just us." He teases her silence, calling her a doormat. She gives a casual yeah, lost in the moment. He asks again, kissing her until the world disappears entirely. It feels like her first love is slipping away, and the ache in her heart is almost too much. Morning arrives, but Teo wakes up to an empty bed. His phone is exploding with over 400 missed calls. He reads the message from Jinan. The engagement is officially dead. The storm he ignited has finally made landfall. At the mansion, a brutal slap echoes. Isu's father screams in a rage, demanding to know what she's done. Her brother tries to stop the violence, but their mother is cold. She warns that Isu has finally gone too far. "Look at her," the mother sneers. "She has no shame, no judgment. She's destroyed everything we've built." Isu stands her ground, eyes brimming with tears but filled with new strength. "I chose this," she declares firmly. She demands they respect her decision. For the first time, she's choosing her own fate, no matter the cost. Through tears, she pleads her innocence. She only ever followed their commands without question or hesitation. Suppressing every desire to serve as the family's sacrificial lamb, believing marriage was her only purpose. But now, she yearns for a life of her own, only to be met with her father's brutal palm. Does she even have the right to exist for herself? According to him, she's nothing but a puppet. Collapsed and trembling on the cold floor, she's overcome with nausea. Shortly after, she visits the clinic. The diagnosis is a shock. 7 weeks pregnant, ISU stares at the ultrasound, questioning how it's possible. Despite her strict birth control, life found a way. The doctor explains the rare odds of failure. Hearing the tiny heartbeat, a new resolve ignites. She vows to protect this life and her own health. Serenity is now her priority. The little one needs a peaceful environment to flourish and grow. Leaving the clinic, memories of that fateful night by the ocean flood back, the night she and Tajo shared everything. Suddenly, Tajo calls, his voice filled with an urgency to see her. He's coming to her side immediately. At his home, his touch is unexpectedly tender, yet his eyes darken, seeing her pale, hollow expression. He notices the bruise on her cheek, but she hides the truth, claiming it was just a clumsy fall. Tajo begs her to move in, desperate to protect her, but she masks her pain with a bitter laugh. He's relieved her engagement is shattered, seeing it as the perfect chance for their new beginning. He wants to seek their family's blessing for a formal union, promising to shield her from every storm. Tajo dreams of a lifetime spent devoted to her happiness, making up for every moment of her past suffering. Realizing it might be too fast, he proposes an escape, a year of dating on the shores of Jeju Island. He swears to never wound her heart again. ISU nods, but a sudden ringing interrupts their peace. A crisis has erupted at the Jeju Art Center. Tajo hesitates, unwilling to leave her side for a second. But duty calls, and she urges him to go, insisting he fulfill his responsibilities as the heir. As Tajo departs, a cold summons arrives from his mother, demanding ISU's presence at the gallery. The atmosphere is icy, as the matriarch delivers an ultimatum disguised as a prestigious opportunity abroad. She offers an internship at New York's Modern Art Museum, a golden cage to send ISU far away. The recommendation letter is a bribe for her disappearance. ISU remains silent, her heart growing heavy. Then comes the lethal blow. Stay away from my son. ISU agrees, promising to vanish without a trace. She bows, swearing to never cause another moment of concern, walking away as a ghost in his world. She feels like a shadow tainting Tajo's brilliant light, clutching her stomach as a sharp physical pain strikes. Returning home, she finds her mother holding up gowns, choosing which mask ISU should wear next. One is too loud, the other too dull, all while ISU watches with a soul-deep exhaustion. Tomorrow marks a new round of matchmaking, a desperate attempt to auction her off to the highest bidder. Her father's decree is clear: marry her off to anyone just to scrub the family's reputation clean. Her mother sneers at her, asking how much more shame she'll bring, treating her like a stain on their lineage. Enough! ISU hurls the clothes down in a rare act of defiance, declaring she's done playing their twisted games. Her mother screams of duty and household obligations, but ISU sees the cage for what it is. I was your tool, your puppet for far too long, but that version of me is officially dead. As the hand rises to strike, the truth explodes. I am pregnant, she confesses, freezing the room. Whose child is it? Her mother mocks, relieved only that the engagement was already canceled. The venom pours out as she compares ISU to her mother, labeling her a woman of low virtue. Claiming she was born to sin and ruined their perfect family the day they took her in was a curse. I'm leaving this hell behind, ISU vows, but her brother intercepts her at the door. He asks if Tajo knows the truth of her departure, but she refuses to chain him to her misery. Tajo would come for her, but at what cost? Would the babe grow up hearing they were a mistake? She won't let her child live in the shadows or ruin Tajo's future with her complicated past. With a final wish for her happiness from her brother ISU, steps into the unknown, ready to survive. From now on, I'll prioritize my own happiness. It was the first decision ISU truly owned, and for that, she had to leave. His stay on Jeju Island felt eternal. To officially welcome ISU into the family, Teo knew he had to prove his worth. Back in his room, he desperately dials her number, but silence is his only answer. ISU's phone was no longer in service. He bombarded her with texts, pouring out how hard he was struggling. Finally, a single ping ISU replied that she missed him too. After her confession, ISU stood at the airport. Lihan noticed her fatigue, but she only offered a bittersweet smile in response. You're the one exhausted because of me, she whispered. When Lihan asked about her future, she revealed the journey she was taking. She planned to wander through Usua before heading to Malta. Her eyes sparkled as she spoke of finding peace away from him. From Spain to the streets of France, her itinerary was vast. Her brother sighed, noting the sheer scale of her sudden wanderlust. Where will you finally call home? He asked. ISU simply shook her head. She wasn't looking for a destination, just a start. She wanted to experience the world first. Gently caressing her stomach, she knew the road would only get harder as time passed. Lihan promised to wait for her signal, Once you find your sanctuary, let me know, he said, his voice laced with concern. She nodded solemnly as he handed her a credit card. It was a secret gift from their mother, passed down with regret. He recalled how their mother knew the crushing weight of raising a child alone. Regardless of the past, she couldn't leave ISU. For 17 long years, monthly deposits were made like clockwork. Their mother's harshness wasn't due to a lack of love or care. She was a victim of her own circumstances. Tears welled in ISU's eyes as the weight of that hidden love finally hit home. I know, ISU whispered. She remembered the night she ran away. Her mother, who usually slept by 9, had stayed awake in the dark. That night, the lights stayed on until midnight as her mother waited. It was a silent confession of a bond never broken. That's why she strove to be the perfect daughter. She wanted to be a fortress so no one would ever worry again. Relinquishing her old life, she handed her phone to her brother. If Teo called, she didn't want to be tempted by him. Don't tell him anything, she pleaded before vanishing. Meanwhile, on Jeju Island, Teo was spiraling, dialing her number incessantly in vain. The ringing continued until a man finally answered. Teo's heart dropped as he demanded to know why ISU wasn't picking up his calls. She's gone. Don't ever look for her again. The cold words sent Teo into a frenzy. He stormed into Leehan's office, eyes blazing. What do you mean she's gone? He roared. Leehan calmly reminded him that they were only connected by fragile strings of text messages. They had plans, a future. Her sudden disappearance felt like a nightmare, but Leehan only offered a cold, indifferent shrug in response. Leehan's indifference was like a knife. Teo grabbed him, his voice trembling with desperation as he demanded to know her secret location. She's finding her own path now. Let her go, Leehan stated. But for Teo, letting go was a fate worse than death itself. He slammed his fist down, pleading for a single shred of truth. Leehan looked at him with pity, seeing the broken man. If she went this far to hide, shouldn't you understand? Leehan warned. Teo's ego was shattered. His arrogance had finally cost him everything. Teo realized he barely knew the woman he claimed to love. He was left drowning in a sea of bitter, suffocating regret. Leehan challenged him, recalling their past wager. How far are you truly willing to go for her now? Teo's eyes filled with resolve. I'll marry her. I'll search every inch of this country until I find her. He refused to let their story end like this. He vowed to chase her to the ends of the earth. He would spend his entire life making up for his past sins. Then use those skills of yours to find her, Leehan countered. Just then, Teo's gaze fell upon a mysterious pregnancy scan nearby. He stared at the image, a realization hitting him like a blow. Determination burning, he raced to his car to find ISU. Suddenly, a ghost from his past blocked the road. Teo stepped out, his patience wearing thin as he faced his old rival. You ruined me, the man screamed, grabbing Teo's collar. He blamed Teo for every cent lost in the failed investment scheme. Don't blame your own stupidity on me, Teo snarled. He had no time for these petty games when ISU was still missing. Is your brain just for show? He mocked, shoving the man aside. He needed to leave, his heart already halfway across the world. He brushed the man off and climbed back into his car. He didn't have a single second to waste on this nonsense. Suddenly, metal shrieked as the man's car slammed into his. In the crushing darkness, Teo's spirit drifted back to his high school days. He saw her, a younger ISU, smiling in the sun. When his eyes finally fluttered open, his mother's tearful face greeted his return. Fear clouded his mother's eyes as Tahan explained the grim reality. Teo had been a silent ghost for over a full week. The tests are normal, but he won't speak, Tahan noted. He revealed that the culprit was none other than the vengeful San Kim. San Kim from 𝑼𝒔𝒆𝒅 had fallen far from being a fan. To make matters worse, his drug test results came back positive. Tahan urged him to show no mercy and refuse any settlement. But Teo's first words weren't about revenge, they were about his heart. Desperate to leave, Teo forces himself up. His mother demands an explanation, but he only has eyes for ISU. She screams, asking what that girl means to him. Teo snaps, ordering his mother to finally stay out of his life. Is it a sin to love her? He doesn't care about her status. His heart belongs only to ISU now. He's reminded she left long ago. Teo feels his world collapsing, the agony of her absence tearing him apart. Without her, life is meaningless. Teo declares he's abandoning his succession at Haitian, throwing away his entire golden future. Just hate me, he tells his mother. Defeated, she lets him go. Teo limps out into the cold night. Battered and broken, he reaches Lee's office. He doesn't come as an heir, but as a man seeking mercy. Dropping to his knees, he bows before Lee. He'll spend every remaining breath atoning for the sins he committed. He begs for one final chance. He won't spend eternity regretting the foolish, cruel games he once played. Wealth and pride, he's cast it all aside. Only ISU matters. He desperately pleads for Lee's help to find her. The arrogant heir is dead. Teo has no pride left, only a burning, desperate need for a second chance. He's surrendered everything to Lee. For ISU's sake, there is no price he isn't willing to pay today. Lee hands him a slip of paper. ISU has fled Korea, seeking a place where no one knows her name. Go, Lee commands. Bring her home and become a man she can finally be proud to stand beside. Teo takes the address. Meanwhile, ISU is thousands of miles away, hiding in a frozen port at the world's edge. Every heartbeat feels like the end. She strokes her stomach, whispering to her baby that they aren't alone. Gazing at the distant lighthouse, she contemplates her fate. This is where the world ends, and her life begins. It's poetic, standing at the precipice. Here, at the edge of existence, there's nowhere left for her to run. This lighthouse marks the graveyard of her past. She prepares to cast her painful memories into the freezing abyss. She throws her bracelet into the waves. Let the ocean carry away the grief of her shattered, broken heart. Every ending is a beginning. Perhaps in this desolate place, she can finally find the happiness she deserves. But as she turns, a shadow appears. Teo is there, pulling her into a desperate embrace. He missed her. She shoves him back, trembling. How did he find her? Ignoring her fear, Teo pulls her into a kiss. Leave, she cries, but Teo won't budge. He's crossed the globe to bring his family back home at last. Back at her apartment, he asks about the baby. ISU turns cold, telling him he has no right here. I'm the father, he argues. But ISU is adamant. She'll raise this child alone, far from his toxic world. He calls her plan madness. Does she really intend to wander the earth as a fugitive with his child? Stay out of this, she warns. But Teo questions her. Is hiding at the world's edge truly protecting anyone? He demands she packs her bags. ISU scoffs. To him, everything is just an easy game to be won. She fears the cycle will repeat. If she stays, her child might inherit the same misery she once endured. We're done, she declares. But Teo grabs her wrist, his voice cracking. Please, stop running. I'm begging you. She bristles. This wasn't running, it was surviving. She sacrificed everything just to escape his heartless, cruel bet. That night, Teo sits in his car. He thought she'd found paradise, but she's living like a ghost in exile. Seeing her struggle breaks him. The woman he once planned to discard is now the only reason he breathes. Before ISU, time was meaningless. He never noticed the seasons or the beauty of a simple, quiet moment. Now, the silence is deafening. He's cold and terrified. Suddenly, a local woman taps on his window, concerned. You'll freeze out here, she says, offering a place inside. Teo accepts, though his soul remains in the cold. There's no bed, but he doesn't care. He settles for the floor, his mind filled with images of her. Sleep won't come. He wanders up to her door, drawn like a moth to a flame, desperate for warmth. Sobbing echoes from within. He came to save her, but his presence has only brought her more tears. How many nights has she wept alone? He's terrified that one more step will send her running even further. He can't lose her again. The thought of her abandonment is a nightmare he can no longer survive. A soft knock. Let me in, he whispers. He confesses his sins, admitting that every scar is his fault. He regrets his thoughtless cruelty. He wishes he'd cherished her instead of playing games with her heart. If only he'd understood her sooner. Now, he'd give anything to erase the distance between their fractured souls. He foolishly believed their reunion would magically heal her deep, hidden scars. To him, she was the entire world, despite the cruel whispers of others. He had lived recklessly, never considering the heavy price she paid for his love. The depth of her agony never crossed his mind until she fled to find peace. He finally confesses he was a selfish monster blinded by his own toxic desires. Only now does he grasp her crushing loneliness, standing solo against a freezing world. The realization of her silent suffering pierces his heart like a jagged, icy blade. Logic dictates he should let her find joy here, even without him by her side. Yet, the thought of losing her leaves him hollow and utterly shattered inside. Swallowing his pride, he vows to wait, no matter how long the night lasts. Morning light brings a visitor to ISU's sanctuary, concerned by her late start. A warm meal is offered, along with news that Teo spent the night in his car. He vanished with the dawn, leaving ISU wondering where he could have possibly gone. She shakes off the confusion, telling herself his whereabouts no longer concern her. She tries to ignore the sincerity in his voice from their previous, painful encounter. Even with a bitter heart, she dreads the inevitable moment their paths cross again. Fate is cruel, as she spots him waiting like a ghost just outside her door. He follows like a persistent shadow, haunting the life she tried so hard to rebuild. Seeking refuge in a cafe, she's surprised when Tae swiftly pays for her order. He offers a small smile, glad she's finally acknowledged his presence once more. She demands solitude, but he remains glued to her side like an unbreakable curse. His stubborn silence speaks volumes, ignoring her pleas for him to just disappear. Amidst the grocery stalls, he reaches out to lighten her heavy, exhausting load. He reminds her gently that she shouldn't strain herself in her delicate condition. "Eat for two," he whispers, his gaze softening as he watches her take a bite. She questions if this man is truly the same husband who broke her heart. Her vision blurs and she stumbles, but his strong arms catch her before she falls. Back home, he meticulously cleans fruit, wishing he could wash away his past sins. He knocks softly, offering nourishment to the woman who refuses to look at him. Silence meets his plea, and he finds her collapsed in a terrifying, pale state. At the hospital, Tae ignores his own blood-stained clothes, praying for a miracle. Time stretches until the doctor emerges with news of her stable condition. The baby is safe, but the mother's spirit is dangerously close to its breaking point. A few seconds later, and tragedy would have claimed them both, the doctor warns. Entering her room, he meets her icy glare, her voice trembling with pure resentment. She screams, blaming his suffocating presence for the danger her child just faced. This baby is her only hope. Why must he keep haunting her new life? He claims to care, but her tears scream that he understands nothing at all. He pulls her into a desperate embrace, shielding her from her own crashing emotions. "I'm sorry," he whispers, holding her tight as she struggles against his warmth. She wonders if he'll only be satisfied when she is completely destroyed and broken. She fled to the world's edge, yet he still found her, leaving her nowhere left to run. He begs her to stay calm for the sake of the life growing inside her. "I hate you," she sobs, yet he accepts her venom with a tragic, relieved smile. Holding her hand, he confesses the truth: he is nothing without her in his world. His soul is ablaze with a desperate need to stay by her side forever. He once played a heartless game, but now he's betting his life on her. Protecting their unborn child has become his new, ultimate mission in this world. He promises eternal devotion as she begs for a life free from cruel judgment. No more enduring the weight of others' opinions, she only craves a simple peace. He vows to be her sanctuary, ensuring she and their child feel only love. This is her first choice for herself, so he'll prioritize her above everything else. A soul-stirring embrace seals their promise to face the future as one. Days later, Tae tenderly peels fruit for Isu in the quiet hospital room. He playfully washes her hair, boasting about his hidden talents just to see her smile. He whispers a heartfelt thanks to the baby for staying strong through the storm. Back at her house, Isu wonders why the busy man isn't leaving her side. He explains that he has nowhere else to go. His world starts with her. He was ready to sleep in his car just to remain within her reach. She welcomes him in, and he pulls her close, swearing never to let go. He teases her gently, promising that his place is forever by her side. She questions why he'd face the freezing cold when he belongs in her warmth. Isu finally found her sanctuary, the cozy place at the very end of the world. Inside the safety of her room, Tae wishes her a soft goodnight. She invites him to stay, and he joins her with a laugh of pure joy. Her long search is over. The paradise she craved was always in Tae's arms. Sharing the same air and sky, their mundane days have become a miracle. To some, it's just living, but to them, it's a moment worth risking everything. Her heart is finally decided. She is ready to dedicate every moment to him. Morning light reveals a stunning view that Isu calls a true paradise. To Tae, she is the only paradise that matters in this typical, beautiful day. Her voice is like a gentle breeze, bringing life to his once empty world. This feeling will last until his final breath. 2 months pass in sunny Malta. They laugh and dream of the future, savoring the peace they fought to find. He finds an ancient amulet meant to protect those lost at sea. He places it over their baby, swearing to be their shield against any storm. Before her, he was a man without memories. Now, every second is a treasure. Gratitude fills his heart for the fate that brought her into his life. A call from his mother shatters the silence, bringing the real world back. He refuses to return easily, even as his mother mentions the pregnancy. He confirms the truth, standing firm against his family's looming expectations. Tae demands to know if she will finally accept the woman he loves. He'll marry Isu immediately and demands a position to support his new family. He insists she be reinstated, or better yet, given control of the art center. He ends the call abruptly, leaving his mother stunned as Isu watches him. He tells Isu his mother wants to see her, despite her fiery temper. Isu worries about the company, but Tae silences her fears with a look. He has already handled everything. she never has to look back again. He wants her to stand proudly as his queen when they return home. That evening, he presents a gift, a stunning symbol of their unbreakable bond. Fastening the bracelet, he declares it a bond of eternal love she must never break. After discarding the key, he gently asks when they should finally begin their journey back. Her brother is calling her home, but Tae tightly grips her hand, seeking her presence. He's devoted now, promising to follow her lead as long as they stay together forever. Later, she finds Tae shivering in bed, his face pale, and his body racked with pain. The accident's lingering trauma haunts him, yet he stubbornly hides his agony behind a weak smile. His skin is scorching, but he dismisses it, claiming he's just naturally warm and perfectly fine. She scolds his stubbornness, while he jokes that being nursed by her makes the pain worth it. ISU warns him that a pregnant woman shouldn't be exhausted by his childish, playful antics right now. She calls him truly wicked, but he responds by pulling her close with a soft, lingering gaze. He tells her to reveal his flaws to the world so everyone will always protect her. Regardless of his past, he vows to be her ultimate shield and greatest supporter from now on. He silences her with a kiss, admitting his words fail against his immense, heart-aching love. Feeling invincible with him by her side, ISU finally decides it's time to face Korea together. Grateful for her trust, he suddenly pulls away to check his phone, sparking her curious confusion. He's searching for pregnancy safety tips, desperate not to cause her or the baby any harm. Finding it safe, he moves in again, leaving ISU blushing and calling him a total idiot. As they collapse together, a rare, profound sense of peace finally washes over her tired soul. These ordinary, happy days feel like a dream she's terrified might vanish at any given moment. Suddenly, Tae proposes. Tears overflow as ISU softly whispers yes to their shared, bright future. He embraces her with a grateful heart, cherishing this fleeting, perfect moment in their private paradise. In this sanctuary of happiness, they decide to stay a little longer, hidden away from reality. The man who once hated commitment now finds it impossible to sleep without ISU beside him. He's completely captivated now. The thought of a life without ISU has become utterly impossible. Back home, Tae proudly tells his grandfather that ISU is carrying a healthy baby boy. When the patriarch asks for her, Tae becomes a protective shield for his pregnant, fragile wife. He warns his grandfather that even a king cannot order around a woman carrying new life. The old man scoffs, but Tae remains firm, refusing to let anyone stress his beloved ISU. Worried about nagging, Tae fiercely guards her, using the baby's photo as his ultimate winning card. He presents the ultrasound like a royal decree, demanding a proper inheritance for his future heir. If he's to lead a household, he needs the resources to provide a legendary life. His grandfather tests him, asking if he wasn't prepared to lose everything for this forbidden love. Tae counters sharply, wondering if the old man truly wants his great-grandchild to suffer in poverty. Softened by the photo, the grandfather orders a grand wedding before her pregnancy becomes too visible. He demands they move in immediately, but Tae reveals he's already prepared their perfect love nest. Always the negotiator, Tae playfully asks for a massive cash gift to celebrate their new beginning. He even cheekily suggests a prime building in Cheongdam as the ultimate wedding gift for them. The grandfather laughs, dismissing his greed, while ISU faces Tae's mother in a tense encounter. The mother finally relents, realizing Tae's true happiness only exists wherever ISU happens to be. She offers a sincere apology for her past cruelty, hoping to mend their broken, jagged bond. Hoping for a fresh start, she asks about the child, and ISU reveals the scan. Seeing the 20-week-old boy, the cold matriarch finally crumbles into tears of pure, overwhelming joy. At ISU's family home, Tae formally declares his intent to marry and cherish their daughter forever. Her father is skeptical, but her mother intervenes, sensing Tae's genuine, transformed heart and soul. She demands he take full responsibility, and Tae vows to protect ISU with his very life. Isu nods, vowing to find happiness at last. Tae watches her, his heart heavy with a secret he's finally ready to share. He leads her to a stunning estate, a sanctuary away from the world. "Shall we go inside?" he asks softly. Isu gazes at the elegant decor, breathless. "Tae, who owns this place?" He turns to her, eyes gleaming with truth. "It belongs to us, Isu." He remembers that fateful trip to Jeju Island, the moment everything shifted from a game to reality. Back then, he'd chosen a gift meant for her heart. Now, in their home, those memories bloom like cherry blossoms. "Don't be shocked yet," Tae chuckles, his voice like velvet. "The tour of our future has only just begun." He opens a door to reveal a nursery, painted in soft, hopeful hues. Isu freezes, her heart racing as Teo watches her. "Do you like it?" he asks, desperate for her approval. He envisions them building this sanctuary for their child, hand in hand. They'll choose every detail together, filling this room with the warmth they both lacked for so long. It's a space born from love, not a bet. Suddenly, the weight of his devotion hits Isu, and she sinks down. Tears spill over as she's consumed by emotion. Teo kneels instantly, his face a mask of worry. "Isu, why the tears?" "It's too much," she sobs. "I didn't prepare for a life this perfect. I don't deserve any of this." Teo pulls her close. "If anyone is undeserving, it's me. I started this as a game, but you became my world." He wipes her cheeks. "Don't cry, my love. Our little one shouldn't feel your sadness, only our joy." He wants her to embrace this new chapter, promising that they will weather every storm together, no longer alone. With a gentle smile, he offers his hand. "There is one more thing, a piece of your heart I brought home." They walk to a gallery space where her favorite masterpiece hangs, its colors vibrant under the soft glow of the lights. Isu is stunned. "How did you find this?" Teo smiles, the look of a man who would move mountains for her. "Your wishes are my commands," he whispers. Then the playboy who once planned to leave sinks to one knee. A diamond glitters between them. "Isu, will you marry me?" Through joyful sobs, she screams, "Yes," into the silence. He vows to spend every breath making amends for the past, sealing their destiny in the house they call home. Teo searches her eyes. "You aren't just a part of my life, Isu. You are the very reason I breathe." He confesses his deepest love, begging her to stay by his side forever. Isu finds her sanctuary in his strong embrace. "Every sunrise we share," he promises, "will feel like a glimpse of heaven. No more games, only us." He's turned their once bitter story into a paradise. His commitment is etched in every word, every look, every touch. From a cruel bet to a soul-deep bond, Teo will spend forever making sure Isu feels like the queen she is. Every second will be a treasure, a testament to a love that conquered a dark beginning. Their legend starts today. And so, their journey to forever begins. If you loved this redemption romance, let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more epic manhwa recaps. Until next time, stay tuned.